It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline. Stop intimidating Mbaka for praying for Nnamdi Kanu. Ipob to Buhari and DSS. The indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, on Friday challenged the President, Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government to stop intimidating and humiliating the spiritual director of the Adoration Ministry, Enugu, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, and other men of God. Ipob asked the Buhari government to stop using the Department of State Services DSS to harass Mbaka and other men of God, speaking in favor of its leader, Nnamdi Kanu. In a statement signed by its spokesperson, Emma Powerful, Ipob said that the Nigerian government is confused as a result of Mbaka and other men of God's prayers. He said that we, the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, ably led by our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, wish to commend men and women of God who devoted their precious time and energy to pray for the protection of our great leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who has been incarcerated in DSS custody in Abuja since 2021. People that are not convenient or okay with the status quo should actually leave him and do whatever they want to do. I see Nnamdi Kanu as my son. He said every Igbo member and a woman is actually his own child, and that being a priest, they may not understand the spiritual authority that he has on the land, especially in the southeastern region. Seeing that if, as a church, they cannot be praying for Nigeria, if they can't be praying for Nigeria in distress, then there is nobody should try to stop them from praying for Nnamdi Kanu and also their fellow brothers in distress. Seeing that for sure that Nnamdi Kanu is going to be shown mercy this year by God, and every other people that are detained in the custody of the security agencies of Igbo extraction as a result of addressing the equity, fairness, and obeying the gentleman agreement of rotational presidency reached by Nigeria's patriots in 1999, which has helped to stabilize the country. It will be unwise to scuttle it now. It favors Indigo. We will commence the political journey of 2023 with persuasive visits to all geopolitical zones of the country by January 13, 2023. But in the case of conspiracy, sabotage, and denial of Igbo, the 2023 presidential ticket in APC and PDP, both the conspirators and saboteurs, will only be available for the doomsday and may not superintendent the affairs of the country in 2023, as secessionist group will be strengthened and unified by the evidence of political neglect, marginalization, and enslavement of eastern Nigeria. To our leaders, we are tired of the worsening state of insecurity in the country. Every now and then, lives are lost, people are being unjustly killed like animals, and we demand the return of peace in our society. We are saying enough is enough, no more bloodshed. Out of school children figure is witnessing a massive rise of orphans everywhere. We can't travel in peace. The economy is crumbling. People are burnt while traveling. The protesters marched from Audu Bako Secretariat to the Kanu government house, where security operatives received the group of protesters, listened to them, and promised to take the matter further to the appropriate quarters. Meanwhile, following the recent spike in terror attacks in Sokoto and Katsina states, President Muhammadu Buhari has dispatched a high-level delegation made up of heads of national intelligence and security services to the two states. According to a statement by the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, on Friday, Buhari expects the delegation to present an immediate situation report and recommendations on actions to follow to effectively deal with the worrying situation. And also, the Defunct Social Democratic Party, SDP, Professor Yowuse Aga, has urged separatist agitators to go about the agitations in a civilized manner to avoid bloodshed. In an interview with Vincent Kalu, the Professor Agia, a former senator who has served twice as minister and twice as ambassador, said that the 3 zones that have produced presidents should wait for the other 3 zones to have president. After that, he noted that the president should be chosen purely through popular contest, devoid of zoning. Many Nigerians have tried to go back in history to situate Nigerians' problems in the amalgamation of 1914. They say the Nigerians' amalgamation into one country should never be taken place because of our differences. These groups insist that the amalgamation's expiration date
is over and is now the time for the dissolution of the federation. But I say these people are wrong. There is no manual for the formation of nations. Wars, accidents, imperialism, necessity, agreement, arbitrations, and consensus have all given birth to countries. Our nation was born from imperialism and it became a British colony after the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885. But we shook off the shackles of colonialism and emerged as an independent nation. The whole world still understanding that Nigeria would be a great nation and would wipe away the tears of all black people of the world by building a great democracy and a republic where justice and honor, peace and progress will be showcased. The reasons for the failure to attain greatness are that we have poor leaders and poor followers who have not been able to make nation building their number one priority. Our leaders have continued to wallow in ethnic racism and corruption. Ironically, it was based on Pan-African unity and nationalism, and our founding fathers got independence. But soon after independence, we have systematically destroyed every fabric of nation building through corruption and ethnic racism. The last 6 years have been the very worst in throwing up Nigeria's fault lines. The parties have failed to give leadership and they lack ideological commitment, purpose, or clarity. The weak institutions of states have been unable to defend democracy, and the Nigerian people have yet not resolved on national greatness. When we decide, nobody can stop us, the professor says. The professor also noted that the Nigerian elite must come together and overcome their apathy and decide to make Nigeria great through comprehensive restructuring of the federation, saying that we need more efficient and leaner federal, civil and public service, and that we need the states to be stronger and the federal government to divest itself of its overwhelming control at the center, saying that we must resolve to tackle tribalism with greater intensity that we have fought corruption, saying that the last thing we need to do in addressing our nation's calamity is to recruit into politics and public sphere people with sound character who see wrong as wrong and who are courageous to stand up to forces that seek to destroy Nigeria. Asking about insecurity, saying that we started with Boko Haram and now ISWAP, saying that the United Arab Emirates recently named some Nigerians sponsoring the insurgent group, saying that Nigerians were excited, thinking that those who have contributed to the plunging this country into the crisis that has got millions of dollars and the carnage that followed will be prosecuted. However, the presidency said charging them is not a priority, and the professor was asked about his view on this particular statement, responding that the view is that the government has been living in denial and that Nigeria is first starting from a civil war that religious extremists and ethnic bigotry have foisted over us. The government has invented semantics of deception, which is helping terrorists by packaging them as bandits and even worse, non-state actors. I was walking on eggshells to call the foreign Fulani terrorists arsonists, rapists and land grabbers through genocide as non-state actors.